Hey, I'm Ross with Sky Management. Today's project is hanging a set of vertical blinds. These are champion blinds that we're going to be doing today. They're pretty easy to do, but there are quite a few steps to it, so let's get started. First thing you're going to have to do is mark off where you want to put your brackets. They come with 3 brackets that look like this. To mount them on, you can either mount them up underneath of a frame. If you do that though, and your door isn't tall enough, then you're going to have to cut off all the louvers on the bottom. So we're going to mount them on the wall. That's what we're going to be doing today. You need to have the top of this bracket shouldn't be more than, needs to be at least 85 inches off the ground. And you're going to want to have them level all the way across. The trick that I like to do is to measure them off of the trim, since I have a trim on the top of my doors. If you have a finished, drywall finished opening that your doors are connected into, then you can measure it up off of that as well to try to get them level across there. So for me, I'm going to take one bracket and flip it upside down like this on top of my trim, and the other bracket, set it up on top of it like that, so I get the same distance on all of these off of the top of the trim piece. And by doing this, this puts the top of my bracket at about 86 inches. So my blinds are going to hang about 2 inches off of the floor, which is okay with me. You want to have it probably at least an inch off the floor so it's not dragging, especially if you have carpet. So now that I've got my bracket up there, move a little farther to the edge. Put my bracket right there. I'm going to mark where the holes need to go. And we're going to do all 3 brackets across the top like that. When you're marking where your brackets go, you can use a stud finder to try to find where the stud is in the wall and then screw it directly into the stud. That's probably the best way to do it. You can also use wall anchors. Today on our brackets, we're going to use toggle bolts. They are the best style of drywall anchors. They're the ones we use for everything, towel racks, closet shelves, you name it. So we're going to use these. To hang a toggle bolt, you need to first make a hole. So you're going to jam something into the wall. I'm going to use a screwdriver to make a hole. Kind of waller it out a little bit, get the hole big enough for the anchor to fit in. And then you'll need to ready 2 toggle bolts into each bracket piece. When you have your 2 toggle bolts through your bracket like that, you'll just pinch them together and try to shove them into those holes that you made. The holes need to be big enough for the back of that toggle bolt to fit in there. The ones I'm using are a 3-inch toggle bolt. That's pretty long. You probably don't need them this long. That's just what we had. So that's what I'm using. 2-inch would be fine. Okay, now that it's in there, you pull out on the bracket and then use a screwdriver. You can use a hand screwdriver or power screwdriver. Power goes a little faster. And tighten the back of that bracket up to the front. Okay, so we'll tighten up all 3 brackets across the top, just like this one. Before you can hang the hardware across the top of here, there are the brackets that are on these L pieces. This little clip that's on here, if you have a trim piece on the front of your door or window, if you're doing this on a window, then you'll need to pull these all the way out to the front and tighten them down. So that's what we're going to do. If you're doing this on a finished opening, you might be able to push it back a little bit and get it closer to the wall. I like to put the little clip edge on the front and the button part, that's how you release the hardware, is this back part. I put that on the back. So we're gonna slide them all the way forward, and then now we can put the hardware piece across the top. This is the main part to the blinds. You want to make sure that it's opening the correct way. So since this is a door, it's gonna open from the left side. We need to slide the movable part to the left side. It can be mounted either way. You're gonna hold it up centered over your opening. Push the front edge up underneath that clip on the front, and then snap it into the back. Just like so. Next, I like to hang the swizzle stick. That's what we call it, the swizzle stick. It just slides in through that hole on top there. So you can twist these part to get them perpendicular to the window. Makes it easier to hang the louvers on there. The louvers can go on either way. I usually prefer to hang them the curved side toward the hook, which is gonna be a little difficult to see it in the video, but it'll be this way. I think they stay in there a little bit better. So if I can get Jerry to zoom in here. Are you zoomed in? Mm-hmm. You slide past the round part and hook it over the second hook. So you gotta make sure that you get it in all the way. And it'll kind of click in there. And then wiggle it around a little bit to make sure it's in there. Otherwise you go to twist the swizzle stick and half of them will fall off. The final step on these champion blinds is to put this front piece on. Now, I will be honest, in our rental properties, we typically don't use these because people just tear them off. So we don't put them up a lot of the time, but for the video, we'll put one up. These clips right here, the part that sticks up a little bit on the end there, and this part over here is what clips into this thing. You stick it in there and turn it just like that. And there are 3 of them. And then this piece clips right on top of this other piece. Put the back part in first and then clip it in. Just like so. And that's how you install some vertical blinds.